Hey everyone, I'm Tsunani. It's so nice to have you here and welcome to a new video. This video was originally supposed to include 3 sketchbook ideas to help boost your creativity. Well, I came up with 3 fun ideas, and while I was testing them out, and I have to say, on that day I was about as creative as a piece of toast. It actually turned out to be the perfect time to try these techniques on myself. But as I went along, I had to admit that 2 of them just totally failed for me that day. I didn't enjoy them at all, sadly. I'll still show you what I did because maybe they will inspire you anyway. And after that, I will show you the one idea that really worked for me. The one that totally clicked. I honestly couldn't stop. It was so much fun. But first, let's start with my first attempt. The one that I had imagined would be so great. I wanted to warm up by swatching my colors in a creative way. I've seen so many artists draw little paint tubes with ink and tree trunks or mushrooms or flowers and fill them with their colors. Such a cute idea. I love that. But I thought I will make it less structured, more loose and creative, so I painted some flowers in different sizes with a black marker on my page. Easy and fun, right? Well, not really. I found it surprisingly difficult, and as soon as I started adding color, I realized I wasn't enjoying it at all. The concept might be good, but not the way I did it. And then I just kept painting and painting, which wasn't even the plan and what isn't so bad, but I was trying to save the page because it's my new sketchbook, blah blah. And in the end, I still didn't like it, and that's fine. The point wasn't to create a beautiful page, but to loosen up and find a new inspiration. Unfortunately, that didn't quite happen with me. Then came idea number 2. I made some random color blobs with my Neocolor 2 crayons. I thought it would be nice to use them again and just splashed them on the page like this. Then I gave myself a theme, bunny, and the goal was to find a bunny in every blob and draw it out. I think this idea could be wonderful if you really lean into it. But on that day, I just wasn't in the right mood and I was lazy and I found it kind of frustrating, honestly. It probably didn't help that the previous page had already demotivated me. So yeah, my bunnies aren't great. I wasn't really feeling it on this day. Then I thought, okay, let's just try the third one. And if that doesn't work either, I will scrap the video idea and start over tomorrow. But this idea turned out to be so much fun that I absolutely had to share it with you. I started small in my little sketchbook across a double spread, trying out something inspired by the Rorschach technique. It wasn't easy at first. I used way too much paint, by the way. I'm using Schminke, Aqua Drops and Ecoline liquid watercolors here. I made quite a mess, splattered ink everywhere, but hey, it's a sketchbook, right? No big deal. The inks did bleed through a bit, but that's fine. I just skipped a few pages to be safe. I will turn that into something later. Then I thought, wow, this is actually so much fun, and I did it again. And perhaps I should explain to you the Rorschach thing. You've probably heard of the Rorschach test before. It's that psychological test with mysterious ink blobs that people are asked to interpret. It was developed by Hermann Rorschach in the early 1900s, originally as a way to explore how people perceive and make sense of shapes and randomness. Each ink blob is symmetrical, created by dropping ink on paper and folding it in half. And the idea was that what you see in these shapes might reveal something about how your mind works. But beyond psychology, I've always found the Rorschach technique deeply inspiring as an artistic process. It's a way to create something unexpected, to let go of control for a moment and let chance be part of your creativity. Sometimes I see animals, faces, plants, or entire dreamlike worlds hidden in the shapes, and that can spark completely new ideas. There's something meditative about it too, watching how the ink spreads, how the two sides mirror each other, how it feels both chaotic and balanced at the same time. It's like a quiet conversation between order and randomness, between your hands and your imagination. Okay, and then I did it a third time. I tried it again in my Stim and Burn mixed media sketchbook, which has really thick pages because the ink bled through these other pages. I dropped the colors again, then later added watercolor on top, which created this amazing textured effect. And the best part, the watercolors didn't bleed through at all. Unlike the inks, I will definitely remember that for next time. For this last attempt, I started layering from light to dark. In my earlier tries, I went too dark too fast, but that's okay, as you will see in a second. Since this one started out quite dark, I first used a black pencil and marker to draw on top of it. Somehow the shape reminded me of an iris flower, so I grabbed my Neocolor 2 crayons. They are so bright and opaque, even over the dark paint. That was all still on the same day, and even though I felt kind of sluggish creatively, I had such a great time pulling those shapes out. It's definitely a technique that helps boost my creativity. Maybe on another day it would have turned out even better, but That's fine. It still made me very happy, and that counts. And honestly, just splattering the color and creating these Rorschach patterns is so much fun. I wanted to keep going right away. I really recommend trying it. Even if you don't plan to paint on top, the blobs alone look gorgeous with all these color variations. I especially love how the larger one turned out. The colors are just beautiful. It already looks inspiring just as it is. But I didn't want to ruin it at that day, so I decided to sleep on it. That was absolutely the right choice. That evening, I kept coming back to it, looking at it from different angles, turning it upside down, and I started seeing all kinds of things in it. The next morning, I felt full of ideas and couldn't wait to get started. And as you can see, I didn't even do that much. And with my brain, I picked a few colored pencils and just followed the flow of the lines, adding leaf-like shapes here and there. I tried to stay symmetric. I didn't want to define a specific subject, just let it evolve naturally. At first I thought maybe it would turn into a butterfly or a moth or some kind of insect, but instead I just went with the movement of the forms. And in the end, I really love how it turned out. It's so unexpected, so different, and it was surprisingly easy to create using this Rorschach technique. The magic of it is how random it all feels. You simply can't plan it. Even when I paint random watercolor pages or blobs in my sketchbook, I'm still somewhat in control, deciding where to put color, what area might to turn into trees or mushrooms or creatures and so on. In this reverse painting technique. But with this, once you close your pages, you have no control at all. You just have to let the paint flow and see what happens. And each time you open it, it's a surprise. Imagine doing that on a large scale with many colorful layers. It could turn out absolutely stunning. Perhaps I will try this. Anyway, I really love how this piece turned out, and I'm totally in love with this technique. I just had to share it with you, even if this video is a little different from my usual ones. And I hope you enjoyed it too, and maybe it inspired you to try something new, or perhaps this technique. And honestly, I think it's also important to show the fails, because not everything works all the time, and not everything works for everyone. What didn't work for me might totally work for you, and vice versa. In the center, I kept seeing this little creature floating there, like everything was growing out from it. I had to bring that to life. If you're still watching, leave me a splash or a paint blob emoji in the comments. Maybe you can tell me if you have tried this technique before or what you like to do when you need a creative boost. And don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and maybe subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. A huge thank you to my wonderful patrons. You are truly amazing. There's a really exciting announcement coming in the next video, so stay tuned. I'm already so excited about it. See you next week then for a brand new video. Have a wonderful time, my friends. Yours, Xonani.